If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, if you want to tell me you love this beard, the best way to do it is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Cardi B sits down with Bernie Sanders, and YBN Cordea names his top 5 rappers. Plus, Chance the Rapper teams up with Lyft. Let's talk hip-hop. This is crazy, right? Because Cardi B, right, is a hustler, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Like, she is the hustler of the century. Like, I don't know many hustlers that could top Cardi B, top 5 hustler, right? You came in the rap game, you got you an Offset, you got you a Baby, and now you getting that chicken for real, right? So, of course she's getting paid from Bernie Sanders' campaign to rile up and rally for him and kind of get the kids behind her, right? But even though she's getting paid for it, this is cool because Cardi B really does care and support Bernie Sanders, right? So there was a tweet, and this was like months and months ago, that Cardi B put out where she was talking about Bernie Sanders, and she was saying that she was like reading up on him and how she kind of liked all his policies and everything like that, right? So I'm guessing that somebody, because she has millions of followers, somebody who is close to Bernie Sanders or in his campaign, you know, whispered in his ear, hey, you got an ally in Cardi B, you better, you know, exploit that for your benefit, and not like in a bad way or a negative way or anything like that, but you better exploit that so that you can get her people to rally behind you too. Plus, Cardi B is very influential. She has so many, you know, young people behind her that if Cardi B says that something should be, then, you know, something gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So this is dope, right? So Cardi B sat down yesterday with Bernie Sanders. They were in a black-owned nail salon, 10 nail something, right? 2 black women owned the nail salon, and they kind of just had a talk, right? And they also shot a campaign video during that talk. So Bernie Sanders said that they talked about education, they talked about raising the national minimum wage, they talked about getting rid of student loan debt, they talked about racial, you know, disparities in economics, and they even talked about climate change, which is dope, right? And then Cardi B actually went on Instagram and posted up that picture with her and Bernie Sanders, and she basically thanked him for sitting down with her. Not me, she says, us. Thank you, Senator Bernie Sanders, for sitting down with me and sharing your plans on how you will change this country. A couple weeks ago, I asked my followers if they had the opportunity to ask any of the Democratic candidates a question, what would it be? I got a lot of submissions, and I selected the most popular questions to get answered. Stay tuned to see how he will fight for economic, racial, and social justice for all. Together, let's build a movement of young people to transform this country. Let's learn our candidates, right? And this is dope, right? Because like she is like really getting behind Bernie Sanders, right? And I didn't expect anything else, because I'm telling you, she's done videos months ago, she tweeted some stuff months ago, she was asking questions months ago. Like, this is something like she seems to really be interested in, right? Offset too, right? Offset seems to really be interested in all this stuff too. So why not, one, get a check from being interested in it, and 2, try to, I guess, enlighten other people and try to make them realize and understand, you know, what, you know, the candidates are standing for, right? And for somebody like for Cardi B to be behind a candidate is huge, right? Because she has so many people in hip hop, she's so influential that this might give Bernie Sanders the edge over the other candidates. We'll see what happens. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Alright, so yesterday, YBN Cordea was on Nick Cannon's show, right? And so Nick Cannon now has like a radio show that he does every morning in Atlanta on the radio station, right? Sort of like what Charlamagne does on the Breakfast Club, or, you know, what Angie Martinez does, or, you know, whatever, right? So he has his residency, and that's cool, right? So he interviewed YBN Cordea yesterday, and they talked about a lot of stuff, but one of the things that they really did talk about was YBN Cordea's top 5, right? And this question doesn't really come up to a lot of rappers because it just depends on what kind of rapper you are to where why would we even care about your top 5, right? But YBN Cordea is one of those rappers that's like, he's lyrical, he's not really crooning or anything on the track. He does he gets melodic sometimes, he croons sometimes, but he still cares about his pen game. He said out openly that he would never have anybody ever write anything for them. He says that he loves hip hop, and whereas a lot of people view hip hop as just a quick hustle or a quick lick, he doesn't view hip hop like that. So, you know, he respects hip hop a little bit, and I think that's, you know, it due to in part because of his father, who sat him down and was like, gotta listen to this Nas, you gotta listen to Rakim, you gotta listen to, you know, Eminem. And he actually decided to, you know, take something from that and like sit down and pen his rhymes and respect the craft, which is cool, right? So naturally, Nick Cannon would ask a dude like that, you know, what's your top 5, right? So YBN Cordea says his top 5, and also Nick Cannon was like, listen, this doesn't mean that they're the best rappers ever, and they also doesn't have to be in any order. I just want to hear who your top 5 is, right? So Cordea said Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z, Nas, and then he was struggling with like that 5th, you know, rapper. He was saying maybe Eminem, but then he said, I'm gonna put Big L in there over Eminem, right? So that means that if he had a top 6, then it would be, Eminem would be like the 6th person, right? And you know, that's cool. I mean, YBN Cordea has that song, My Name Is, where he actually, you know, did that whole song on the Eminem beat, you know what I mean? But it's cool. And the reason why, you know, Nick Cannon asked him like, well, why did you decide to put Big L there in that top 5 spot instead of Eminem? And he goes, well, you know, the cadence and everything that Big L was talking about, he felt like he could just relate to a little bit more, right? His flow, his cadence, and just everything that he represents, right? And that's cool. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, you know? And this is dope, right? So for me, like, I love YBN Cordea's top 5. I'm not here to tell him who he gravitates towards to, or who he likes, or who he loves, or who he listened to growing up, right? But for me, I think that putting dead rappers on your top 5 is a little unfair, right? Because it's hard to say, oh, YG is better than Nipsey Hussle, right? Because Nipsey Hussle passed away, and that's blasphemy if you were to say that, right? So it's almost like these dead rappers have an unfair advantage in your top 5, right? And for YBN Cordea to have 5 rappers in your top 5 and for 3 of them to be dead, Biggie, Pac, and Big L, is kind of crazy to me, right? The only 2 that are still alive right now is Jay-Z and Nas, right? And then also, Biggie never lived to be in his 30s, neither did Big L, neither did Tupac, right? So their music could have developed into something a little bit more mature. Hey, they could have fell off for all we know, right? They could have ended up, you know, having horrible music after a while. We never know. So I think it's unfair to put like dead rappers in your top 5, but you know, that's just me, right? So in my top 5, I don't have any dead rappers there, and then I also have a top 6, not a top 5, right? So for me, I'm letting y'all know my top 5 right now, and this is in no order, but I'm gonna go with DMX, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Jadakiss, Nicki Minaj, and Wayne. That's my top 5, right? In no order. And I know I said 6, but that's my top 5 is 6, all right? And I don't know, man. Let me know what your top 5 is in the comments below. Alright, yo, so Chance the Rapper announced that he's teaming up with Lyft, right? And this is crazy, right? And Chance is out here playing with the numbers, yo. And this is ill, right? Because first off, right, he's like, oh yeah, you know, my album, The Big Day is coming. This is my debut album. I never had an album before. What? You never had an album before? That's what bugged me out, right? And I love Chance's music, and I think he has a dope personality, right? And Chance's, if I would say he represents anything in hip-hop, I would say like he's like the good, squeaky clean kind of dude in hip-hop, right? Even more squeaky clean than Drake, right? His father used to work, and this is real life, his father used to work for Barack Obama. Chance the Rapper, his mother and his father are both lawyers. He grew up in a well-to-do family. He never really had to struggle, and that's cool. And now he's a rapper. He never claimed to be no gangster. He never said he had to struggle, right? But he did grow up in Chicago, and so he did have a couple of friends that did go through those things, right? And we love love and respect Chance the Rapper for what he represents, and that's cool. Plus, he has dope music, so I'm not saying that, right? But what I am saying is that Chance out here playing with all the numbers, right? They say men lie, women lie, and numbers don't, but it looked like the numbers starting to lie too if you talk to Chance, right? So the whole situation is he's saying that he never had an album to come out before, but you had a 10-day. All right, fine. You want to say that was a mixtape? I thought Acid Rap was an album, but fine. You want to say that was a mixtape too? Okay, cool. What about Coloring Book? Was that just chopped meat, or was that a mixtape or an EP or whatever too, right? Coloring Book was definitely an album, right? Anyway, but he comes out with the big day. He says this is his first album. That is right there, first and foremost, how he's playing with the numbers, right? Then they announced this whole Lyft partnership, right? So basically the Lyft partnership is whoever takes a Lyft or took a Lyft between Friday that just passed and Monday, which was yesterday, gets a free download of Chance the Rapper's The Big Day album. They get a notification from Lyft saying, hey, here you go, here's a free album, right? And this is crazy because that counts towards the album sales, right? So now, let's say I'm taking a Lyft, right? Let's say I don't even care about Chance the Rapper, and I take a Lyft from here to, I don't know, the next city over. Guess what? I get a free Chance the Rapper album, and that counts as a sale, even if I ain't listen to it, even if I ain't download it, even if I'm not into hip-hop, right? Another thing is that, let's say I love Chance, right? And I am into hip-hop, and I downloaded the album. Matter of fact, I pre-ordered the album, right? I bought merch, and I pre-ordered the album so that as soon as it came out, boom, the album was right there in my Apple Music store, and I listened to the album 10 times, right? And I don't have a car, so then I hop in a Lyft, and I get another free download of the album. That counts as 2 sales, even though I already bought it once with my own money. Chance is playing with the numbers, y'all, and this is crazy, right? So then Chance comes out with some clarification, talking about, oh, listen, I'm not playing with the numbers. He went on Twitter, yo, and was like, listen, we told, Billboard not to count the Lyft downloads as an album sale, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to cheat, quote unquote, right? But here's the thing. All right, fine. Billboard won't count it as an album sale, but a lot of other charts still do. That still counts on Apple Music, you know what I'm saying? That still counts in a lot of other areas. So you're still playing with the numbers, my dude, whether Billboard is going to count it or not. Billboard's not the only chart out there. You know what I'm saying? So this whole situation is crazy, right? But this is how rappers are inflating their number. And I mean, it's not just Chance. It's not just Chance. I don't want to put that on him, but Chance is the most obvious one, right? But a lot of rappers do it, man. Trippie Redd did it. Nicki Minaj did it. Travis Scott did it. Kanye did it. Everybody's doing it, right? But Chance is making it look so dead obvious that it's like, come on, bruh. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane. That's Jonny Fastlane on Instagram. And y'all already know what to do. Peace.